The reason is that Bertelsmann is primarily a European company where we generate 80% of our revenue. Unfortunately, Europe is not growing much. And that's why part of our strategy will be to expand in Brazil, India and China, which are markets which are growing significantly faster. They outgrow Europe by a factor of 5. And there are reasons for this. The first is clearly the size of the population, the young population, the growing population. There's an increasing usage of media. The media markets are growing at double-digit rates. They're outgrowing the economy. There's an increasing service orientation. And what we also find in China increasingly is a willingness to cooperate with Bertelsmann. But let me be very clear, Bertelsmann is and will continue to be a German and a European company. There's no contradiction between being clear about our roots on the one hand, but clear also having global ambitions and putting them into place. China is already the second largest economy in the world, and it will be the #1 in a few years' time. And in terms of population, it's already the #1. This is going to continue. The growth is going to continue. We saw 9.2% growth in 2011, a slowdown this year, but we're still talking about 7% growth and more. And there are reasons for this growth. One is, of course, the population, the age of the population, but also strong affinity to digital media, to online, to mobile, etc. And the importance of the education sector. I mean, China has clearly recognized the importance of education as a key to prosperity and to participating in the society. Well, we already have 4,500 employees. We have an investment fund which is dedicated to China, which is called Bertelsmann Asia Investment. They've made more than 20 investments. They're recognized to be one of the top 50 investment firms in China. And Annabelle Long, who runs the fund, is considered to be one of the top investors, one of the top 50 investors in China. We also have Avato Services, a large service operation. For example, we distributed more than 100 million mobile phones to date. We make more than 15 million customer calls and send more than 20 million letters to our customers. This is what we call customer relationship management. We also have Gruner & Jahr, who hold an interest in Boda Lee, one of the leading women magazines. Fremantle Media brings to the market well-known formats such as X Factor and Got Talent. And Random House is establishing a local presence and is increasingly selling English language books to the Chinese market. We'll grow in many different ways and many different dimensions. I mean, first of all, our existing businesses will continue to grow with the market. They will outgrow the market as they gain market share. But we will also invest in new businesses, in particular in digital media and in education. What is very important is that we've got a corporate presence, a corporate center in Beijing, which we set up a few years ago. And this corporate center is there to provide support and business development expertise to both existing businesses and new businesses. This corporate center is also there to establish a deep network in China, both in the business world, but also with the government and with regulators. This is of key importance in China. Well, the fund works is, first of all, it's a captive fund of Bertelsmann, so Bertelsmann owns 100% of this fund. We invest in specific areas, particular digital media, education, and services. We take a long-term view on the investments which we make. We've already taken 3 of our portfolio companies public. They're listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and there are plenty of investment opportunities for Bertelsmann Asia Investment. As I mentioned before, the fund is well established in the market. It's highly recognized and regarded, and we therefore have access to significant and interesting investment opportunities. This is the first conference of its kind for Bertelsmann. It's the first time we go to a country to hold a conference. And clearly there are reasons for this. It just shows how important China is for Bertelsmann today, but more importantly going forward. The conference will bring together many senior managers from Bertelsmann, from Europe, the US, but also all of our managers from China. And it will bring together business people from China. We're going to talk about the Bertelsmann strategy, how it applies to China. We will talk about business practices in China from other companies and key learnings. We'll talk about where we stand with our existing businesses and what their prospects are. And we'll also talk about investments in new areas such as digital media and education. So my expectations are high. We want to bring everybody on the same page, and I want them to be as enthusiastic about China at the end of the conference as I am.